Bartees Strange Farm to Table album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? Johnny from What's Spinning here tonight to chat about this latest album from Bartees Strange, singer, songwriter, all-around likable guy. He's been at it for a few years now. He was originally performing under the name Bartees and the Strange Fruit, but like many others, I kind of, caught wind of him a few years ago. Yeah, his full-length solo debut, Live Forever, was a pretty awesome project. One that I'm kind of regretting not reviewing when it was out. This was an eclectic mix of indie rock, synth pop, some arena rock, jazz, hip hop, some folk thrown in there as well. All fueled by soulful performances as well as really heartfelt, meaningful lyrics. It was just a really likable project all around that never seemed to be too much. And yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. And the new singles leading up to this new album, Farm to Table, I thought were really impressive. And you know what? This album's pretty damn good. With Heavy Heart as this album's intro, it picks up very much so where his debut left off. It's got this twinkling guitar riff, which I really like, some very soulful vocals, some very meaningful lyrics as well. It's really heartfelt, and if you've seen any interviews with the guy, he seems so damn likable. But this track builds into a serious anthem with this thunderous riff and these eclectic genre fusions that we've come to know and love. It's a great sound all around, one should he be really proud of. It's also really instantaneous. Don't be afraid to just dive right in, even if you haven't listened to his debut. I really like Mulholland Drive as well. This is another very breezy, very sweet on the ears indie jam with a whole lot of heart. The production is great, and what's even greater is Bartees' just incredible knack for writing these big hooks. There are a few choruses on this album that I don't want to just belt out every time they roll around. It is a fantastic tune, as is Wretched. I think this is track of the album. I love the synths that open up this track and this warm atmosphere on this track. I think it just does nothing but great things to just back up his vocals. And talk about a chorus. This track, it just feels like a damn happening. It gets me hyped every time, and it might be a little too poppy for you, and I understand that, but man, this is a gem. If you're only going to take one track out of this album, make it this one. Cosigns is on the gloomier side. It brings in a lot of elements of hip-hop and R&B, but between the slick production, it's very icy instrumental, surprisingly so. It works really well. I wish we had even more experiments like this. I mean, yes, this is a very, very solid album, but truthfully, it is a little bit more one lane than his debut. This works, though, as a track. I like it a lot. Even when that noisy, pulsating riff comes in, it's great. Bartees just continues to be really likable. Some of the lighter moments, though, do rub me the wrong way. Like, take, for example, Tours. Like, I want to love and rant and rave about this album, but this track brings me down. Like, some of these softer, more acoustic tracks, they are certainly just as heartfelt and, emotional as other tunes here. His heart's definitely in the right place, but this very light and fluffy instrumental and atmosphere just rubs me the wrong way. Sorry. Then We Were Only Close for like 2 weeks, and does anybody else hear that? Oh, it's the unnecessary interlude alarm. And I have a lot of the same feelings on Black Gold as well. His heart is so into this. You can hear it in these vocals, and that's commendable. But this folky dime a dozen instrumental is not for me. It also gets a little cheesy at points, and I really don't get to say that much on this album. And yet, like I said, my only other real complaint here is this seems a lot more direct this time around. This seems like an album that could have waited a little bit longer to come out, and he could have put a couple more tracks in, and it seems like a little bit more one lane. Yes, this is still a very eclectic album, but it's nowhere near as vibrant as his debut. But for a more stripped down, more folky tune, look no further than Hold the Line. This track is great. It's not like he can't do this track, this sound justice. I mean, listen to this thing. It is a bluesy, unbearably tragic jam, and yes, it's a jam. It is a gorgeous tune backed up by one of this album's most impeccable instrumentals. Not only does it work, it's probably the second best track here. Escape This Circus is a really nice late album treat too. This almost touches down on some dream pop sounds in a good way. This sounds like something out of Real Estate's catalog, but Bartees makes it its own. This instrumental absolutely melts into his croon. I love it. And it has the same very meaningful, very punchy lyrics that I loved about his debut album. I'm 100% for this. And this outro we get here, what a great blast of arena-sized energy. And for another stripped-down track that actually works really well, look no further than Hennessy as a finale. This is a really, really great finale. This is how you do this sound. This is how you do a ballad in the world of Bartees Strange. It is strong. It is powerful. It packs a punch. It's soulful. It's passionate. It's breezy. The multi-layered vocals are an interesting touch as well. It's a great note to leave this album on. I mean, yeah, this album's pretty darn good. One of the better indie releases I've heard all year. And like I said, you know, Bartees just continues to be a guy that I really just enjoy. He seems like such a good dude, and just like all eyes on him right now. He's doing some really cool stuff. And yes, I would have liked a few more tracks. Some of the more stripped down ones turned me off, and honestly, I'd like to hear him branch out a little bit more like he did on his debut album. Not to say that this album doesn't tease with a lot of genres. He could have done it a little bit more, though. I thought it was a little bit more exciting the first time around. But still, this is a very, very good album. I'm feeling a very strong 7 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.